All right, how we doing? You okay?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, good, good. All right, so most of you know the score since you were here a few minutes ago. We are in our final meeting of the semester. The only thing that's left is the final exam. I'm going to try to see if I can open it up a little bit early because I would like to make sure you're not rushed and you should get your response. Make sure your respondus is working. I would highly suggest reinstalling that application because they may have put in an updated one. But if yours worked all right on the last time, it probably will be all right this time. But there were a couple of people that had a little bit of an issue, and that's what we did. We just reloaded.
I have a question. We have one attempt or the
Yes, one
we have
attempt.
one attempt.
One attempt.
So, Mr. Crow, when I told you about my test Tuesday, when I got off and I got back on, it didn't let me go through like the camera wasn't on. I was still through respondents, I
Yes.
think, but the camera wasn't on.
The camera wasn't
Mine
on?
was on. It was on. It just ain't show the light that time, but it was recorded. You had
Oh,
to record yourself with a picture. It was recording you.
yeah.
Okay.
Cause at the end, it says connected. It says the lockdown route at the end.
Okay.
Well, like I said, is I would reinstall that. And remember, you got this little thing to help you. I put it back in here and made it active. The this one here, so you can test everything beforehand just to make sure it works. That Responda system check, because you can still work on it. It's open up until exam time. So make sure everything is working with that. All right. Because that's what that's there for, just so you can make sure everything is working.
It worked, but I think with the new update, it don't have the light because the light usually make it. If like you
Well, like I
on
said, that's why I would just reinstall the new one. If you know, and make sure that this thing, all right, the Responda system check, because that's right there is like a free. It doesn't. It's not really a test. It just you want to see if it works. All right, do y'all want to see some more on that review? I mean, unless you got specifics.
Yes, we can do the review some more.
All right. All right, so we got a deck of 6 cards numbered 1 through 6. Some are gray and some are white as shown below. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4 are white. 2 of them are gray. All right, we're going to need those numbers. Now, we want to find the probability that the card drawn is white. Remember, we're doing this blindly. So we got to make sure we're counting right. So what is the probability that the card is white? Well, four or white. So the probability of white is equal to right. So there's 4 over 6, and 2 goes into 4 twice, and into 6 3 times. So your probability here will be 2/3. All right, now what about this one? Does anybody remember that? Because this is conditional probability. So what does that mean? What do we got to do here? Less than 5. So what I'm going to do is I'm
So
going
would
to
you
get
have to count the numbers before 5?
exactly. So these are gone. So the only ones that are left are the 1, 2, 3, and 4.
So would it be 2 4?
So then now let's see. The probability that it's white given these right here. So there's 2 probability of white given less than 5. So the less than 5, as we said, are 4 of those. And how many of those are white? Well, there's 1, 2. So that's 1/2. That's the conditional probability. All right, any questions? About how I did that? Well, we could go on to the next one. And this is all be recorded, so you can have it if you need it. Oh, so this is 1/2. So this goes back to what we just looked at. Anybody interested in seeing this one? I mean, this is just basically a counting thing. So we got to find the ones that are between 103 and 107.
When you finish with that, can you go back to the one like where it says what's the one there? That has the little circles with the numbers in it? I forgot what's called. Like how many participation and how many how many. I think it's in the beginning of the review.
All right, let's see what we got. So that was
Oh, not that one. It's the ones with the circles.
circles.
Like if you have like it has the some 612
Oh, okay.
participations, because that's the one I always keep getting jammed on.
All right. Yeah, the Venn diagram, the full Venn diagram. I think it was like 7 or 8. That one? Whoops, wait a minute.
No, it's the circles like they say
Yeah,
600.
well, it was somewhere in here. I know we did it, but I just can't remember where it's at. We'll find it. Because they're all out of order. I think it's yeah, there you're talking about, right? That's the one you
Yeah,
mean?
that one.
All right. So let's just do the same one. I'll take it out and take all the numbers out. I'll tell you what. Well, let's go ahead and do that because otherwise I'm not going to remember which ones we didn't do. All right. So the way we handled is we start at the bottom down here and work our way up. That's generally the way I do it. And that's the
Okay.
best way that I can figure. So we got 665 participated in the drug trial. In other words, all 8 of these squares has to add up to 665. Now this right here, the 613, that's the ones that are inside of one of the circles because it's at least one. So that's at least one. This is at least one. This is at least one, at least one, at least one, at least one, at least one. This is the only one that's not at least one because that's 0. They had neither one of the symptoms. All right. So all of these had to add up on the inside to 613. So an easy way to find out what this value is to subtract from 665, that's 613. And that tells us what goes in here. All right. So I'm just going to, as we use them, I'm going to go up the line. This one, I think we can use it again, but let's go up here to 73. 73 of the participants had fatigue, but had neither nausea nor anxiety. So in other words, that's going to be right here. Another way of saying it is fatigue only. So I'm going to put my 73 right there. So this one, we used it up. 142 had anxiety, but not nausea and fatigue. Oh, 142 had anxiety. 147 had nausea. So that's this one right here. Oop. That's that one right there. 147. So that's all of the just one symptom people. Now we're going to keep on going up the line. And so 61 of the participants had both nausea and fatigue. So nausea and fatigue is right here because it says, but didn't have anxiety. So it's not inside the blue circle. It's just right here. So this is 61, nausea and fatigue. Boom, he's gone. 43 of the participants had both nausea and anxiety, but not fatigue. So right here is our 43. That one's gone. And I like to check them off because that way I don't have to, like, it helps remember that I've already used it. And I'd used the 613, but I'm going to need it in a little bit. 362 participants had nausea. In other words, everybody in the nausea circle, the red circle, has to add up to 362. Now, what's inside of the nausea circle already is 147 plus 61 plus 43. So inside of that red circle, there's already 251, but we're told that there's 362. So since there's only one spot missing, that difference is going to go right there. All right. So now we've used all the ones to get everything, but this one square is missing. So we could do it two ways. We could add them all up, all 7 of them, and subtract from 65, or we can just add up all the ones inside of the circles and subtract from 613. Because everything in the 3 circles adds up to 613. So let's add them up. 147 plus 43 plus 142 plus 61 plus 73. So we're adding all 6 of them so we can get the 7th one. Let's double check, make sure I got the numbers right. 147, 43, 142, 61, 111, and 73 gives us 577, and we're subtracting from 613. And so 36 goes right here. And when we've got all 8 of our squares filled in, we're ready to answer the question. So the question is, how many of the participants didn't have fatigue? And this is the key thing, not fatigue. So the way I kind of like to do is I like to just eliminate the fatigue category, because this is the one that says we don't want. So not fatigue is anything that's now not shaded. So that would be 147. Seven plus 43. Oh, come on, I can take that. What is it doing that for? 147 plus 43 142 plus 52. And I'll just come and take that one out. So 147, 43, 142, and 52. So all of those don't have fatigue. So there's our answer. All right, Latondra, does that sound good? You got any questions about it? I don't mind going back through it.
No, that's not got it. So you start from the bottom and we're
Yeah, you start from the bottom.
Okay.
And sometimes they'll be a little bit different. Like instead of saying at least one, they'll give you the one in the middle. In other words, they'll say 111 had all three. So you just got to watch. But if you start at the bottom and work your way up, that's the best way to go about it.
Okay, so the bottom number, you're going to always subtract the bottom number
Well,
from the top number, that's 665.
Like I said, there's two different types. On some of them, instead of having this question here about at least one, they'll say something like 111 had all three. They'll tell you that instead. But it's still, no matter what you do, if you start from bottom and work your way up and then subtract out, you'll get to where you need to be. I tell you what, does anybody want to see any of the other ones? Because what I might do is just regenerate and see if I can get one of the other types. Since you got a question about it. We still got the... All right. Let me regenerate it and see how it if we get one that I'm thinking about. Because like I said, there's two different types. Let's see, which one was that? It was it's like 12 or 14 or something. There we go. See, this is another type. So let's look at this one. All right. But still, starting at the bottom. 101 of the students don't drink any of these three types of drinks. Where would we put that at? That's not at least one now. It's saying 101 don't drink any of these three types. They're not in milk, they're not in tea, and
so it will go at the bottom on the outside?
Great. All right. So this is a second type. 97 drink all three. This is what I was telling you. All right. $119 drink both tea and coffee. Now here's what we got to watch out. Tea and coffee is right here. I'm sorry, I went back up. This is tea and coffee. See that? That's tea and coffee. We need to have 119 in there, but we already have 97. So we're going to subtract from 119 the 97. Oh. It's 97, not 997. So that means 22 goes right here. So okay. Now inside of that blue football thing I've got 97 plus 22, which gives us the 119.
Okay, I think that's where I was getting stuck at.
Yeah, you got to subtract out as you go out. Let's go on to the next one. Okay, so that one's done. 191 of the students drink both milk and coffee. So milk and coffee is here. It includes the ones who also drink tea. But what we got to do is what we just did on that other one. We're going to take the 191 that drink both milk and coffee, and we're going to subtract the 97. So 94 goes right there. So now you will see 94. Whoops, wait a minute. That's right, isn't it? 94 plus 97. What's going on? 94 plus 97. So that's the 191. So that's done. Now the next one, 225, drink both milk and tea. So we're looking at the milk and tea, which is that little football there. There's already that 97 in there. So we've got 225 that's going to go in there. And we're going to minus the 97 that's already in there. So 128 goes in there. And then you can see that 128 plus 97 gives us 225, which is what that's saying. All right, so now 356 of the students drink milk. Well, now the milk category is here. That's milk. All right, there's got to be 356 in there. How many is already there? Well, we're going to have to add them up and see. We got a 128 plus 28 plus 97 plus 94 is equal to 319. Now there's got to be 356. So how many are we missing? We're missing 37. So now all four of those give us the 356. So let's go up and see if we can fill in one more of these. We're going to have to fill in at least one more in order to subtract out and found out the last one. So drink tea is 315. All right, so this is the tea circle. The tea circle. That's got to be 311. How many's in there already? We got 128 plus 97 I think it keeps it double. There we go. 128, 97, and 22. So that means 247 subtracted from 311. So the total in T, we've already got 247. So 64 goes in here. And now we got everything added up. I mean, everything filled in except for this last one. And we can easily find that by adding up everything that's left and subtracting from 692. Because all 8 of these have to add up to 692. So I'm going to add up all the ones that I got. There's 7 of them. 37 plus 128 plus 64 plus 94 plus 97 plus 22 plus 101. Let's just go back through and double check. 37, 28, 128, 64, 94, 97, 22, and 107. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they add up to 543, but we got to have 692 total. So what are we missing? We're missing 149 that drink coffee only. We've got them all filled in. So we are ready to roll and answer the questions that we've got. Okay. How many of the students drink both tea and coffee, but not, I'm sorry, both tea and milk, but not coffee? So tea and milk, but not coffee. Here's tea and milk. And then we just take that one little sector because we don't want the coffee people. So 128 drink both tea and milk, but not coffee. Because these people drink tea and milk as well. It's just that they also drink coffee. So we don't want those. All right. So that kind of gives you the taste of both types.
Yeah, that is. But you like you say, you gotta pay attention.
They're two slightly different. It just takes a couple of rounds to make sure you get both types and make sure you understand how to put them together.
Yeah, because see that 97 played a part in three of the 4 different types of things. So that's probably why I was getting confused there. Because I wasn't doing that 97, taking that 97 from that 97.
So you think you got a good start on it now?
I think I got it, but I screen recorded. I may have to look at it a couple of times.
All right, so here's another one from chapter 3, the second chapter that we covered right before midterm, the arguments. So we're given 3 statements. P is the bake sale is on Friday. Q is Chow is making cookies. R is Chow is using the oven. So here's what we're looking at. We're looking at this statement here, or this argument here. It's if bake sale is on Friday. In other words, if P, then Q, which is Chow is making cookies. And if you write it down, it might be helpful. So this would be all right, the bake sale is not Friday, so that's not P. Therefore, not P. Chow is not making cookies, so not Q. All right, so let's look for that one. If you can find it by writing it down, it makes it a little bit easier if you write it down. Looks like that one, but that's not it. Not that. Chow is not making cookies. There we go. So that's it right there. All right, is that a valid argument? Well, no, because that's that fallacy of the inverse. The only way to know for sure if you don't recognize that is just to do the truth table for it. So here's another one. If the bake sale is on Friday, so if P,
then so I have a question before you move further. At the top one, what are them three little dots right there in front of the negative 2?
That's your therefore. That's your conclusion.
Okay, okay.
Just means if P, then Q, and not P, therefore not Q.
Okay, got you.
So if the bake sale is on Friday, then Chow is making cookies. It's the same thing. The bake sale is on Friday, so that's P. So that dot, dot, dot just means that that's your conclusion. That's what comes after the line, and that's what's gonna do that. So that's the therefore Chow is making cookies, so it's really the same thing. So this right here is the direct argument. That's a valid argument because you're going from P to Q, which is what you do. So let's just find it. It's right there, and that's valid.
And it's another one. Can you go to them? I think you was already on there. I was about to start it before I asked that question. The true and false, where you put the T or the F.
Yeah, a truth table. All right. There's a couple of them somewhere like this. Well, that's an argument, but it's the same thing. This right here has got, I mean, it's an argument, but you go through a truth table. Is that the one you're talking about? Because there are other truth table ones. It's just that that one is like the argument. Somewhere. I think the two, they're over here. Like this? Is that what you mean, Latana? That was you that asked, right?
Yeah, that was me. I
Is
asked.
this the one you're talking about?
Yes.
All right. So we're building a truth table. So what we got to do, we're going to have to do a couple of steps. So it's best is to do the inside first. So because it's going to be two steps. So P or Q, and then that's the T, T, T false one, because the or is always true unless you got two falses. And so now we just negate this. And that would be it.
Wait, I'm still cause you did that like it was nothing.
Hmm?
I said you did that like it was nothing. I
Well,
still
it's just
lost
two
with it.
steps. This is the inside of that, right? See,
Yes.
that's P or Q. That's the inside. That's just the basic or truth table. Two, as long as we got one T, it's true. Two falses makes it false. And then we just negate each one of these to get the final answer. True negated is false. True negated is false. True negated is false. False negated is true. Like I said, it's just a two-step problem. They allow you to put in that so you can put in the steps. What's the matter with that one that you don't not
Um, that right there.
well, I mean,
So
this right here, I don't know what to tell you other than you just got to know this one because this is one of the basic ones.
okay.
See from over here. Just one of the basic ones.
So where is located in our notes?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna have to go. I seen it, but
Yeah. It's like I got it in a visual, put all of them together.
okay, okay.
Somewhere in here. It's over here. See this little thing. When you took this test, I told people what I would do is just write these down and because you got to know these right here. These are the basic ones. The and, the or, the if then, and the if and only if. And then of course the negation. Because everything is based upon these 5 basic truth tables. And you're applying them. And see that one right there is what's inside of here. So that's why I put this right here as my first step. And it's just the basic one. As long as you got one true, the or is true. Otherwise, it's false. And then the second step or the last step is just negate each one of those.
Okay, gotcha, gotcha.
All right, let's do one more. There's one last truth table one. I forgot where it was at. I think it was up towards the end. Because that's in the early part of the course, and that's the stuff that people have forgotten since midterm.
So I think that's another one too, the true and false table with the what that is, permissions or something like that.
Yeah, it's up here. I was gonna find it.
I think it's in the beginning, Mr. Cruz, like a little closer to where you
Yeah,
was.
you might be right. I saw it when we were looking for the other one. Let's see. All right, this is what. So this is the last one is a truth table. All right, but this is we're going to find out whether an argument is valid or not. All right. And you could do that for that one that we did first where I was using the little slider to pick the right argument. Well, it's the same
Uh-uh.
thing, except this right here, you have to do the truth table for it. There's one case, well, I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, so P is Tony is jogging. Q, Laura is in photography class. So here's the first one. If Tony is jogging, then Laura is for photography class. So that's if P, then Q. Laura is in photography class, so that, I'm sorry, Laura is not in photography class, so that's not Q. And the conclusion is, see, there's your little dots right there.
Yeah.
And that means therefore. Because from here, they write it in
Okay.
words, and here they write it completely in symbols. So that's
So the
not
negative P will
jogging.
go right. The negative Q will go right there.
Exactly. It's not P.
Yes, the
All
Q,
right.
the
Now
negative
that
Q.
right there, I'll just tell you that is a valid argument, but I'm going to do the truth table for it. That's the law of contraposition. because it's not Q gives us not P by the contrapositive. But let's just show this with the truth table. And then, so what we got to do is build it from the inside out, left to right. So the thing that's first is this right here. So this is just the basic one. All right. And so just to show you that I'm not making anything up, this is what I'm using right there. I'm using this. That's the basic one. So true, false, true, true. In other words, here's the one case when it's false. It's when you have true, false in that order. And with the conditional, order is important. So true, false, true, true. Just basically verbatim. All right, now we got to get ourselves a not Q. So I'm going to put in a not Q. So not Q is just going to be the opposite. And then after I get that, I'm going to put these two together. See, there's that one and that one. And I'm putting that together with the and. All right. So I'm using and to put these two together. And remember, and is only true if you've got two truths. See that? That's the only time the and is true. Otherwise, it's false. All it takes is one F to spoil things. All right.
Gotcha.
So, true, false, there's my false one right off the bat. This one is true, that one's true, and that one, oops, that's another false right there. So see, there's the true, false, false, true, false, it's false. There's two of them. The other ones are fine and true. All right, so that's the whole left-hand side right there that we've got done. We got to make this one now. So not P, and that's just going to be the opposite. So false, true, false, true. And now we're using the conditional again on these two. And again, we don't need to look at the stuff up at the top. We're only looking at these things. So if F, then F is true. If true, then true is true. If F and F is true. And this is true as well. We don't have the one that's true, false in there. So it's all true. So as I had said this is the law of contraposition. So I knew it was a valid argument, but my you doing the truth table settles it for me that it's a valid argument. You don't have to know what it's called, but I just recognize the contrapositive.
Okay, gotcha. So with this test, can we use scratch paper or how does like
Well, you can use
we
paper,
just
just,
have to use
you're
the
not bringing in
calculator?
any notes. All right.
So with that, what that is, we have the scratch paper. We have to hold it up to the
Yeah, you holding up your
computer to
paper,
show
your
front to
TI
back.
calculator, your paper. Those are the things you got. And then, of course, your writing utensil. Best is to use
Okay.
blank paper just so it doesn't look like anything's written on it.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha. Well, that's it for my questions.
Okay. I always forget what the name of that calculator is. What is it? TI. It's this one. Oh, GI. GI. 30X. So see, that's the one, okay? That's the one to use. Otherwise, you can use the ALEKS calculator. The only thing the ALEKS calculator doesn't do and is simplify your fractions. So uh, you probably won't need it that much on here. I've not. I mean, I had a couple that I simplified, but you can use the TI for that. The ALEKS calculator does everything else. All right, so let's go back over and see what else we can get into. Anybody want to see anything else in particular? Let's start from the back and work our way forward. There's a couple here. We did that. All right, this is a good one with the license plates. All right, so suppose each license plate in a certain state has 3 letters followed by 3 digits, very much like what we have here. You know, 3, we'll put a little blank in between, a little dash just to show. So it's 3 letters and 3 digits. So this is letter, 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 digit, digit, digit. All right, the letters H and L and the digits 1, 2, and 9 are not used. So there are 24 letters and 7 digits that are used. Assume that letters and digits can be repeated. How many license plates can be generated? Well, 24. And since repetition is allowed, then we don't need to subtract. We're just going to put in 24, 24, and 24. All right, and then over here for the digits, we're going to put 7, 7, and 7, and we're just going to multiply those out. 24 times 24 times 24, 7 times 7, 7. So 474, 632. So 474,632 unique license plates can be generated with that schema. All right. See what else we got. That looks good. All right, here's a good. All right, so we got a couple of questions here. Let's see if we can answer these. A company has 30 salespeople. A board member at the company asked for a list of the top 5 salespeople ranked in order. How many such rankings are possible? What would we do for that when we got order? Order. See that? That means order, the P. The P. All right. So then we got to have our big number and our small number. So what are our numbers? Well, we got 30, and we're picking 5 of them. All right, so I'm going to use a little calculator. So I'm going to put in my 30, hit my P, and then 5. Put in the commas there. So this is a million. Ooh, wait, woo. I messed up there. It's not right there. It's right there. Right there. So that's 17 million. Let me check that again. So 30. Okay. That's right. They like you to put in the commas. So that's going to go right there. All right, now the other one, to log into a certain computer account, the user must type in a 4-letter password. So in such a password, no letter may be repeated, and the only lowercase. So there's only going to be, you're picking 26, in other words. All right, from 26. So 4 and 26 are our numbers. Is this order or not? Order? No order. It's a bit tricky because they don't tell you, come right out and say it, but what do you know about passwords? Do you have to type in your password? Like if your password is 1234, can you type in 4321? No, it's got to be ordered. So both of these are P's. So now 26 P and 4 gives us 358,800. All right. So sometimes with these, when they've got those two like that, they could both be permutations, they could both be combinations, or you could have one of each. So watch out about your order. All right, this is probably good. All right, we've got some this represents the average rainfall and in a year, and they tell us a couple of things. They tell us that the mean is 30.8 and the standard deviation is 3.3. All right, so the way the normal distribution works is the middle is the mean, and you can see that fits in real nicely because it's just a little bit above 30, 30.8. So 30.8 is right smack in the middle. That's the mean rainfall, the average rainfall per year. Now, I'm going to keep adding 3.3 to that. until I get to a number that's just a little bit below 35. So that's 34.1, and you see that fits real well. That's one standard deviation it took. Now to find this number over here, I'm going to subtract from that mean. And so 27.5 is right smack dab in the middle between 25 and 30. Makes perfect sense there. So how many standard deviations do we go? One on each side. So they're in order. This is 1, 2, and 3 standard deviations. Since we just did one, it's 68%. So we got time for a couple more problems. So tell me what you want to see. That's the same one. Most of the ones that I have not done are the ones we just looked at. So I don't know. Like, for example, on this one, it's just a matter of counting. Pick the ones between 79 and 83, including. So 1, 2, 3. Looks like that's all of them. 84 to 88. Wow, I don't know if I can. Oh, there's one. 1. 89 to 93. So we include the 90, the 93, the 91. So there's 3. 4, 5, and 6. So 90. What was that one again? 93. 91. So 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then 94 to 98 is all the rest of them. There's just 2 of them. Now, if I got them right, they should add up to the total, and the total is 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 12 of them. And that's right. So anything y'all particularly want to see, or y'all dying to get out of here? Because I don't mind, but like you, I'm tired, so I don't want to just do them just to have fun here. We did that. We did one like that, but I don't mind doing it again.
It's another one. Man, what's the ones? It's like word problems though. I have
Are
like
you talking about the ones from the last test?
yeah, I think that's what it is.
Okay, that's the ones where you got to find the z-score.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
So that's what you're talking about right there. I wanted to see these. All right.
It has like three different ones. Like each problem have 3 different ones where you have to choose one of them.
But this is what you're talking about, right?
No, it's another one. It's like A and then it has B, but it have like 3 different problems in one where you have to choose choose one of them.
Oh,
Can you
you're
go over
talking
this one? Can you go over the
about
one that you just skipped as well? The number
so you're talking about
26.
this.
That one right there. Yeah, that one.
All right, does somebody make a comment or had a question else? Thought I heard
Yeah,
two people.
somebody did comment saying something about one you skipped.
All right. So this is the way that I handle this, is I just draw a nice little number line. So 0 to 100. And then smack dab in the middle is the 50%. And so this is your median, 50%. So there's your median right there at 50%. Now, 7,000 students took an entrance exam at a certain state university. Rubin's score was at the 73rd percentile. So that's right in here, almost smack dab in the middle. So there's Rubin right there. All right. And he's 73. 73. Carmen's was 89. So Carmen is going to be right in here somewhere. 89. 89. Terrible 89, but we're just going to put Carmen right here. All right. So that just gives us a visual of what, and we should be able to answer this. Now, let me just tell you this. The only thing we know is we know how they're ranked. Zero's all the way to the left. The median is in the middle. Rubin comes next, then Carmen, and then all the way at the top would be the 100th, everything, 100%. Now, we do not know what their scores were. There's no mention of what their scores were. We just know how they ranked. We know what place they came in. So when we go through here and look at these, we do not know about the number of questions, so we can take that one out. All right, because we don't know what their score was. We just know the rank of their score compared to everybody else. So did Rubin score higher than Carmen?
That's what it's no.
It's
No,
below.
he'll
So
be.
that one's not. We can rule that one out.
Okay.
Both Rubin and Carmen scored higher than the median?
Yeah, that's the right one.
Yes. But look at the last one. Let's just look at the last one. Rubin and Carmen scores were both in the bottom half. No, they are in the top half, which is what this says.
Okay, got it. So you just draw your little
You
line.
don't know how
All
many questions are on the test. You don't know anything like that. And if it has something like salespeople, you don't know what their sales, value was. You don't know any of those things. All you know is how they rank.
Okay. Gotcha.
All right, so let's look at this. Carmen scored lower than 73% of the students.
Which we know that's wrong because she scored higher.
Rubin scored lower. Well, no, he scored higher than 73%, but not lower. So there's 73% of folks down here, and Rubin outdid 73%. That's what the 73rd percentile means. Rubin got about 73% of the questions correct. We can rule that out because we don't know how many questions were on the test. We don't know what his score was. We just know where he ranked in relation to everybody else. Rubin scored higher than about 73% of the students, and that looks to be the right answer because, again, we don't know what he scored. So there's our right answer.
Okay, got it.
So if you kind of draw yourself out a number line and put everybody in place, That's what you know. You don't know anything else. You don't know what they scored, how many questions were on the task, how many they got right. All right, if you want another one, I mean, I'm happy. Otherwise, I'm done. I don't know
Yeah,
if we
give me
can
another one. Give me
It's
What
another
else
number
one.
do you
two.
want to see?
Can you go over number 26 and 27?
I'll see if I can get.
Oh, I see, yeah. You just like hold it
This
up.
thing's starting to freeze up
Well,
now.
it needs to align because like my trim doesn't catch them. Oh, I see, makes sense.
Somebody TV loud.
I think I'm gonna do like my entire bit.
Yeah, let me.
What? My entire.
People don't realize that it's voice activated. You know, if you're not saying anything, then nobody can hear anything. But once somebody makes noise on there, it turns
You might
on.
have to log out, Mr. Cruz.
All right.
Let
Let me go back and see if we can hit 26 and 27 real quick. I forgot what those were, but we'll look.
Oh, I pray to God I pass this test. I pray to God we all pass
Well,
this.
just make sure you go through that review a few times, all right?
Yes, me too.
Go through that review. What in the world is going on? Why is it?
Even the computer saying I'm done.
Yeah, I know. I don't think we got enough time to do any more. If you want to, email me and I'll because like I said, I don't know why it's doing this.
Well, we'll have to look at this recording and go through the review.
Let me try one more time. Maybe that's better. All right, yeah, this is the ones I was going to do. Okay, so this is just finding the z-score. You got to have a z-score. So what you do is you want to do for 88 beats, so it's 88 minus the mean divided by the standard deviation. So that's what is that? 88 minus, well, so that's 1.5. All right, and it says more than, so we got to use our complement. So I'm gonna if I were to if it said less than, I would just find out what that value is right there. So what I gotta do, since it's more than, I gotta do the complement. So then there's your value. First, since it's wants it in percent, we got to multiply by 100.
I can't remember when you're supposed to minus
Well,
one.
it's more. If it's greater than, more. In other words, it's to the right. That's when you use the complement rule, because the table and the calculator only bring back what's to the left or what's less than.
Okay, so when it says less than, that's when I do 1 minus.
No.
Huh?
It's more, see? See, I got more circled. When it's more, you use the complement, because less than is just value straight from the calculator or the table. But if it's more than, you gotta do the complement rule. All right, let's do this. Next one is like a between. What is this one? Yeah, between. So this is between now. So you just got to do two of them. So we got 305 and 329. So we got to do two z-scores. So 329 minus, what's the mean? 227. All over 60. So that's just the z-score. Get that real quick. 329. 329 minus the mean. And then divided by the 60, the standard deviation. So this is 1.7. And then we do the other one. There's two of them there. There's 329. I'm sorry, 305. So 305 minus the 227. You always subtract the mean from the value and then divide by the standard deviation. So that's going to give us what? 305 minus 305 minus 227 divided by 60. So this gives us 1.3. And there's the two z values we got to look up. The easy way is just to do this with a calculator. So I'm going to take the big one. So it's between, I got to just subtract the two. And then that would give us, when you do between, you subtract. And we're going to multiply times 100 to get, because they want percent. So it's 5.22. All right. Well, I wish y'all all the best. So I won't see you again in a class setting, but I'll be, like I said, I'm going to be giving exams at the same time when you're taking yours on. So you have to email me. I won't be able to do live since I'll be, in a classroom.
Thank you, Mr. Cruz, for everything.
All right. Well, good luck
Thank you,
on
Mr.
everything.
Cruz.
Let me know if you need anything.
So we won't see you anymore in this class, Mr. Cruz. Today
No,
was
the
our last
classes are
day.
over with. Time
Oh
to go
man, how
home.
sad.
Time to go home. Well, if you got Monday, Wednesday class, Friday classes, you got one more, class on Monday.
Oh man. Okay,
Or
well
tomorrow
thank you
and
so much
Monday.
for teaching us, Mr. Cruz.
All right. Well, you're welcome.
Yeah.
You enjoyed it.
All right.
Thank
Thank you.
I might be seeing you again, but if
Oh,
not,
no, don't say that.
No, I don't
Go
hope to
all out.
see you again.
Go all out on this
it's been a
thing. You got 5 good days. Go through this review until you're turning blue. Take a day off right before. Take the exam and you do all right.
All righty. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Cruz. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So, Mr. Cruz,
Uh-huh.
my grade. Did you see what my grade was?
On what?
My final grade so far. I don't think I could come back from that.
Well, I mean, we discussed about how it was, I guess, right after midterm, how you was going to need to have a B average on.
I know, but since I was unable to take my other test,
Yeah, but I'm saying is you're going to have to. But tell me, which test have you scored in that range on so far?
So my last test, I done really good on that one. That was, I think, by far one of the best tests I
What was
did.
the score?
Oh, I don't remember. Like
Well,
a 13
anyway,
out of
well,
15.
I'll show you this thing again, all right?
So I think they want me to make an A. Like nothing can't be wrong at all, and I don't.
No,
That's,
like I said, I showed you this before. You don't remember this?
I didn't know how to get to it. I remember you going over it with me, but I didn't know how to get to it.
Here, I'll put it in the. All right. So you're just missing that one test grade. Look. All right. So you're missing basically 40%. What is your average in the Canvas now?
I have a 56F.
Did you check it recently?
Yeah, I check it every day.
Okay.
I was saying that the Alex score was updating, but it's the same. It didn't change.
All right. Won't take your word on it. What? Oh, wait a minute. You want at least like a 70. There we go. Yeah, so you're looking at like a 90, basically. If that's your average, I guess it is. I'm taking your word for on it. They should be pretty accurate in there, but you're just missing that
Yeah.
extra 40%. I mean, extra 5%. But the 35 is the big one. That's why you got to go all on the final. But you can do it. And if it helps you, I'll replace one of the other lower grades with it. All right.
Okay, so you still gonna drop a test grade
That's
along with?
already been done.
It's already been done.
Yeah, I did that on Tuesday.
But my grade still has been the same.
Well, like I said, I don't know. I need to go in there, but yeah, everybody, because people were asking in the last class about that because they saw that their grades had changed. I dropped one test grade, two of the test prep grades, and four of the path grades.
Okay. You
But I
say you're
mean, you
gonna
can
drop?
do it.
I know, but just to get a 90, I don't. I'm just being
Well,
realistic with
I'm
myself.
not trying to be hard on you, but the test in the final, I mean, the midterm is the issue. Everything up to the midterm, you did below 70, so you gotta make up for it.
Right. I know.
You can do it. Just
I
go
know
on.
I can.
That's why, I mean, it's better to start out with the passing grades at the beginning,
Right. Yeah, you're
but
so right about.
but you can do it. And like I said, if you get that high enough grade, I'll find a way to replace another grade to make it better. All right.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr.
All right.
Cruz. I really
You're
appreciate it. I
welcome.
don't want to see you, at
Yeah, I
least not
know.
in the class.
I know I'm too much of a pain in the neck, and you don't want to take this class again with
No, I'm
anybody.
trying to go forward. No,
All
I
right.
never have to retake a class. I don't want to start. So,
All right. So
all right,
anyway,
I
you
appreciate
want
it.
this? I mean,
Yeah, I took a picture of
you
it.
can
Yeah,
you can play with it.
yeah, I did. I took a picture of it.
Okay.
All right, thank you, and you have a good evening.
Okay. You too. Bye bye.
All right.